Today's story originates in Tokyo, Japan.
Strange stories.
October 2018. Ever the humble, quiet one. 20-year-old Yuka Takaoka lived in the Shinjuku neighborhood. Shinjuku is not your average Tokyo neighborhood, known for its packed clubs, karaoke bars, and premium restaurants. All this beauty is wrapped up in skyscrapers. Yuka has also lived a rather unremarkable life. One could say that her life was lived by Western standards. She dropped out of university at 19 to become a hostess bar manager in Shinjuku. Hostess bars are extremely popular in East Asia's nightlife industry. The way they work is that their customers, mostly men, come to hire women for money, but without the follow-through you might be thinking of. The female hostesses basically just serve drinks, give compliments, and have a nice dialogue with the customer. To top it all off, Yuka was an anime fan. On Twitter and Instagram, she often posted photos of herself cosplaying of her favorite characters. Her accounts have not been deleted until now. If it becomes interesting to look, the links to them will be in the description. Yuka was quite shy, the kind of person who doesn't talk much at first. But as trust and relationships grow, they begin to open up. No one ever expected any trouble from her, and all her acquaintances described her as a calm and extremely nice girl. Returning to the anime, it should be noted that one of Yuki's favorite cosplayers were yandere. The word yandere refers to a mentally unstable anime character. They are usually girls who are not normally abnormal, but are willing to do anything for the sake of their lover. Have you guessed where this is going? In October of that year, she met a 20-year-old man named Phoenix Runa during a shift at the same hostess bar. Phoenix was also working as a host at a hostess bar nearby. It should be clarified that a host bar is actually the same as a hostess bar, with one exception. They target female patrons. Phoenix was extremely popular in Shinjuku and outside his host bar, and would often appear on the Wall of Honor, as many girls who paid him for his company would return to the same establishment for him. I will point out to you that this is all extremely safe work. Host bars and hostess bars have tons of security and are officially under police protection. As you can see, Yuka and Phoenix worked in the same industry. They understood each other half-heartedly, not only as man and woman, but also from a professional point of view. Later, they began to coordinate each other's schedules to spend time together outside of work as well. Soon, they become friends. Yuki's abnormal attraction to the object of her adoration is evidenced by her personal diary and notebooks, the pages of which she wrote in dedication to her boyfriend. It goes without saying that after weeks and months of such encounters, the two grew closer to each other and eventually began dating. However, things weren't going too smoothly in their relationship. Even though they saw each other when their schedules allowed, work created some tension between them. The thing is, even though both Yuka and Phoenix worked in the same industry, the latter preferred to make money by flirting with the ladies at his host bar. And that, as you can imagine, led to jealousy. And I'd say jealousy is putting it mildly. Every month, Yuka became more and more attached to him, and as a result, the jealousy grew. It got to the point where she was checking what was going on in his phone and even spying on him. And if that seems harmless to you, how about this? She would go to the bar where he worked and literally buy his services a whole month in advance, paying over $9,000 every month, all just to keep any woman away from her beloved Phoenix. A little weird, don't you think? Let's fast forward a bit. May 23rd, 2019. It had been a few months since they started dating. Things were going surprisingly well in the relationship, and even despite some misunderstandings, the couple was happy. Yuka continued to run her hostess bar, and there were no problems with him either. Business was booming. She took a couple days off to clean up her hotel room. That same day, she called Phoenix and offered to have him stop by to help with her cosplay costume, and he, of course, didn't refuse. Phoenix arrived at her place much later than she expected, as her shift at the bar was long. When he walked in, he was pretty tired. Phoenix asked Yuka if he could take a bath at her place to relax after work. She said yes, so he went in, ran a bath, lay down, and fell asleep. At this time, Yuka was going through her boyfriend's phone again. And that's when she found some pictures where Phoenix was with some other girl. Yuka didn't know who it was, and she definitely realized that it couldn't be a client, since she had bought Phoenix out for the whole month as usual. This revelation simply infuriated Yuka, considering that she had noticed how cold Phoenix had been to her the last couple days. She juxtaposed that with the photos and took them as proof of cheating. So, if you suspect a partner of cheating, you should discuss it with them. Ask if everything is okay, right? Yeah, but not for Yuki. When Phoenix woke up, he put on his underwear, went to the bedroom and climbed into bed, trying not to wake Yuki, who seemed to be asleep already. Exhausted by the recent events, he fell asleep literally in a flash. Some time passed when suddenly, Phoenix felt a sharp discomfort in his stomach. He opened his eyes, looked down, and saw a knife sticking out of his abdomen. Abruptly waking up, he looked around in horror and saw Yuki looming over him. Is this for real? Am I dreaming? Phoenix thought. Driven by pure adrenaline, he pushed her away, jumped out of bed, and ran out of the room. Yuka ran after Phoenix and grabbed him as soon as he crossed the threshold of the apartment. He was taller, he was stronger, and he ended up freeing himself from Yuka with another push and ran for the elevator. From that point on, Phoenix was losing a lot of blood. The elevator doors closed and he went to the first floor. When the doors opened, Phoenix rushed forward. Once almost to safety, he passed out. Yuka caught up with Phoenix. He was lying passed out in the middle of the hotel lobby. Blood was spreading around his body. At that moment, a passerby noticed this horrifying scene, but Yuka didn't run away. She sat down next to his body. People who saw the scene were too scared to approach the couple, expecting Yuka to do something. There is an interesting photo from this moment. When the police arrived, they saw Yuka sitting next to Phoenix's body, covered head to toe in his blood and smoking a cigarette while chatting on the phone with a friend. In the time it took the police to get there, she managed to write the letter in his blood, repeatedly writing, "I love you," again and again and again. When the Tokyo police realized what was going on, Yuka was immediately detained. They would later find the letter written with the same knife she stabbed Phoenix with in that malevolent room. When a police officer asks her why she did it, Yuka will say, "I was very sad and I wanted to die. I thought that if I killed him, I could be with him. I thought that expressions like, 'I like you' and 'I would like to be with you' would become real if we both died." Numerous witnesses watched as the police escorted Yuki to the squad car. And when she got in there, she was smiling. As for the victim, Phoenix Runa was alive by this point, but hanging on by a thread. When police and paramedics arrived on the scene, he had not yet died from his injuries. He was taken to a local hospital where he was left lying in critical condition with only a 20% chance of survival. But on July 1st, a little over a month after the incident, to everyone's surprise, Phoenix was alive and on the mend. He tweeted a plea to friends and fans, "Sorry, but I'm alive and back." Afterwards, he added, "My liver got stabbed, so now I can't drink." After going through the horrific experience, the Phoenix survivor agreed to be interviewed. In that interview, he did not show any hatred towards Yuki. On the contrary, when asked why he felt that way about her, he said that he didn't hold any grudge against her. He even begged the judge to commute his sentence. On Thursday, December 5th, 2019, the judge sentenced Yuki to 3.5 years in prison for attempted murder. Also, a condition reducing her time in prison was the payment of 5 million yen to Phoenix. At her hearing, the judge stated that, "If it's possible, I want people to continue to lead normal lives, not pay for their sins." And the story doesn't end there. Since Yuki's attempted murder and imprisonment, she has gained an entire community of fans. A large portion of them are anime culture fans, who have a deep admiration for her. They call her yandere in real life, and fans believe that she should not be condemned for what she has done. Instead, it's better to send Yuka to rehab. Yuka Takaoka was released in 2023